Hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar called Building a Resilient Healthcare Brand in the Digital Age. This is a webinar for health professionals, doctors, therapists, chiropractors, naturopaths, and clinic managers, people who want to do a better job managing their clinics. My name is Dr. Cary Yurkiw. I've been practicing in healthcare for 30 years in private practice, and today I want to help you to understand what you need to do to improve your practice and the reach that you have in your community, and then how to manage the feedback that you might be getting from that reach. So I started True North coaching back in 2020 to help health professionals with their practice. I had been practicing for 30 years myself, and during that time I had helped other clinics to succeed in practice, including doctors and therapists. I had practiced doing locums in various clinics over the years. I worked in over 50 clinics myself doing locums early in my career, and then when I was moving from one clinic to another, I did locums again. So I know how many healthcare practices work from the inside out. I've also helped healthcare providers to improve their practices, and I've written a book called Successful Private Practice. It's on Amazon. So I've been doing this for a long time, and because of my experience and because of the journey I've been on, it makes me well equipped to help health professionals with their practices. Today, specifically, what we want to talk about is building a resilient healthcare brand in the digital age. And this is a very important topic because a lot of practitioners are not really sure what they should be doing with their practice to get the word out. You know, we're all familiar with social media. If you've been posting on social media, posting personally and posting for your practice are two different things. You really want to manage your posts to reach the right people, to improve your brand in the community, to increase the exposure of your clinic, and to ultimately grow your practice. And so during this event, we're going to talk about that, as well as the importance of a resilient healthcare brand. So how to make your brand resilient through some of the ups and downs, and we'll talk about reviews today. And then we're going to cover some key topics on which type of branding to use. Should it be email? Should it be which social media platforms? And then what kind of message do you want to get out into the community? So understanding your healthcare brand. First, you want to define your brand's identity. And I think it's very important to identify, who you are and who you want to reach in your community. And this can involve, other people who can help you with your practice, like marketing agencies. This can involve different types of health professionals that you have in your practice. So it's very important to identify, what type of brand you want to get out into your community and what your core values and mission is. So I think it's worth spending some time, focusing on that and finding out what exactly your core value and mission is, and who are you trying to target. So who's your target audience? And sometimes I call that the avatar. Who is your avatar when you do go out into the community to target a certain group? Who are you looking to get through to? Now it depends. I mean, if you're a dentist and you're have a family practice, you might be targeting families. If you're a medical doctor and you have a family practice, same thing. If you're in geriatrics, you might want to target older individuals. And where would you find them? Probably on Facebook, more so than any other, or on Google. If you're a practice that deals more with pediatrics And you might want to go with platforms like Instagram or TikTok. So it all depends on the audience that you're trying to get through to, and who you're trying to target as far as your market. Now, the platforms that I recommend people join are basically Instagram, very powerful. So establishing your brand on Instagram, very important. And there's other platforms that are powerful too, like Facebook. If you're going peer-to-peer in healthcare, something like LinkedIn would be good. If you have a younger audience, TikTok, and Google is always great, especially Google Ads, writing blog posts, all very good ways to get your word out. And you also want to make sure you're following current trends in healthcare branding. So what are some of the trends that are in your industry right now? For me, in my practice, something I like to share with people is laser and shockwave. So how do these pieces of equipment work, and how does new technology help people in addition to the care that I provide in the clinic? So you want to highlight some of the services you have to offer, the products you're carrying, and how that can help people. And then the digital challenges and opportunities that you face navigating the digital landscape. So what are some of the challenges you might face? It could be the messaging that you try to put out into the community. So what kind of messaging are you trying to get out there? Is it on point? Do you have to improve your messaging? How about your graphics, your colors, your brand image? All very important when you're trying to get out into the workplace and market to the community. So it's worth spending some time working on your brand, working on your message, making sure your message is very clear, and getting through to the right people in your community. Now, the right platforms are very important. And as I was saying earlier, choosing the right platforms. I find Instagram to be very good for the type of profession that I'm in. So right now we're doing Instagram Live. It has a good audience, good exposure. Facebook is very good as well. A loyal following on Facebook can be very helpful to your business. LinkedIn, good for peer-to-peer and referrals. So depending on what type of profession you're in, you might be getting connections on LinkedIn and referrals from LinkedIn. TikTok's a little bit younger, so the type of messaging you put out on TikTok is going to be different than the type of messaging you put out on Instagram or on Facebook. And then Twitter, of course, which is now X. The tweets you put out, how frequent you put those tweets out, what is the messaging like on Twitter, answering questions from people in the community. So all these platforms have different ways of getting through to different groups of people. And then you want to engage with your audience. Basically, when somebody is on your channel and they're interacting with you, you want to get back to them. Give them a wave if they're on your live broadcast. If they're responding to your story, check your stories once or twice a day to see if there's any messaging directly on Instagram. Facebook, same thing. So you just want to be checking in. Either you or have one of your staff members checking in for you just to respond to people's questions in the community. So you really want to engage your audience and grow your audience. Build that trust from the social media marketing that you're doing. Email is very powerful, and building an email marketing list is critical to the success of any business today. So very easy to do. When your patients come into the clinic, you do need to get consent from them. You want to make sure you send a message out to them. I would say weekly or every 2 weeks, just letting them know what's new in the clinic, what are some new developments in the clinic, educating the patients, letting them know that you're accepting new clients or referrals. If there's any events going on in the clinic, if you have any new products, these are all very good things to share with your email marketing list. That's it's one area where you control your contacts. You don't control your contacts on Instagram, Facebook, but if you have an email marketing list and you have a platform that you can market to people via email, very powerful. And you're in control of that email list. Crafting effective email campaigns, this is important. You need a brand image. I would try to keep that consistent. So the header, the imagery, the colors, but then change the message slightly. So each time you send out an email, you want to change that message, as we just discussed, to make it relevant to what's going on in the clinic, give people an update, let them know you're still there, and that if they need you, they can contact you. And you want to personalize the email communication. Now, a way to do that is you can add tags to your email list. So if certain people attended, let's say, this webinar, you want to add a tag just saying they're interested in digital marketing for my business. If they attended a webinar on headaches, then you might want to tag them with headaches, so that next time you have an event or a product that is beneficial to headaches, you can send out an email to them. So that personalized email communication can be very helpful when you go to market your healthcare practice. Reputation management is very important, and you want to monitor your online presence. For us here, it's Google, it's Facebook, and it's RateMD. So depending on your area and where people leave reviews, you want to monitor that. You want to encourage people to leave reviews, but you also want to screen the reviews beforehand, if you can, to make sure that if there's any problems, you can address those and improve your practice. So you want to put surveys out to your patient base, just finding out more about how they rate your service. How's the care, anything you can do to improve, how's the timeliness of the care, how's the service of the assistants. Basically you want to get some feedback from the patients and then try to improve your practice, because you want as many 5-star reviews as possible. Now, there is some reputation management companies out there that will make sure that you're getting 5-star reviews and screen out the less than 5-star reviews. I kind of find that a bit fake, to be honest. When I'm looking for a product or a service, seeing a 5-star review and hundreds of them makes me wonder, well, how come there's hundreds of 5-star reviews, but where are the people that maybe didn't leave a 5-star review? So when I look for a service or a product, seeing a 4.8 out of 5, 4.6 or 7, 4.9, these are good reviews for me, and they're realistic. If you go on Amazon and you're ordering a product, it's unrealistic to see a 5-star review hundreds or thousands of times. So I think take that into consideration when you're managing your reputation. And the other thing is, if you do get a poor review, I think it's important that you address that. The best businesses address those negative reviews online. They show that they care, that they want to improve. You don't want to get into some confrontation with a patient online, definitely not. You don't want to escalate the situation. So just managing that is very important. And then you want to build trust and credibility. So basically you want people to get to know you. You, the doctor, the therapist, the team at the clinic, and also you want to build that trust. The trust that people can depend on you, they can rely on you, and that when they need your help, you're going to be the right person that they turn to. Now, for communication strategies, you want to make sure your message is clear and consistent. So the messaging, I think, has to be on point. I always say less is better. So when you're putting out a graphic image or even a post, make sure it gets to the point fairly quickly, and that you're expanding on that point a bit. But if people really want to know more about it, you can direct them to your blog post, a longer form content like this. So for most of the messaging, it should be short and sweet. I found that doing YouTube shorts under 60 seconds and also Instagram stories has been very beneficial. It seems like the viewer count has gone up. It seems like when I provide advice on stretches or strengthening or posture or anything to do with that for my clinic, the views are a lot more than the other posts. So you want to watch your reviews or your views, sorry, and see how many people are watching those. Look at your statistics. Use those statistics to help you to create content, basically. I know it's a little bit more work, but it's definitely worth it because it's going to guide you in the right direction. In fact, I've written a few books on Amazon, but I've been thinking lately, looking at where the interest is from my followers on YouTube as well as on my social media channels will basically direct me into the right area to do the next book, to provide the right content for the viewership and what they want to hear. What are they interested in? And you want to utilize multiple channels. And so again, different channels, but you have to be respectful that the channels have different types of audiences and different forms for the content. So Twitter is going to be much more brief and to the point than something like YouTube, let's say. A YouTube post or a LinkedIn post should be a lot longer than something like a Twitter post or an X post, of course. Those are the two extremes. Instagram could be a little bit longer, but you don't have the ability to provide links that people can click on, so you have to direct them to the link in the bio. You get one link, and you need a link manager in your bio. And I don't want to get too technical here. We'll do that at our masterclass coming up it's tomorrow actually, our masterclass on this topic. So if you want to know more about link managers and you want to know more about how to direct people to the right areas, then we'll talk about that at the masterclass tomorrow. Now, leveraging patient feedback. Collecting patient feedback is very important. And often in the clinic, we have people that are leaving really good reviews. They're very happy about the care. They've achieved great results. Maybe we've met and exceeded their expectations in the clinic. That's a good time to say, you know what, just take a minute to meet with one of my staff members, and then let's do a video. Just a short video, 30 to 60 seconds about your experience. What did you come in with? How did you feel when you started? And then how do you feel now? And then can you leave that same feedback in written form on Google, Facebook, and RateMDs? And you might have other feedback services in your area. But basically, you want to collect those testimonials, video, very powerful, and then written testimonials. And then you want to recycle those. Basically, put them out in your feeds, show people how others are getting help with a similar condition. This can be very, very powerful, getting a testimonial, even more powerful than you talking about something like headaches or back pain. If the patient has talked about how much it's improved, that carries a lot more weight than you even explaining it. So very important to collect patient feedback, analyze their feedback for insights. You can take clips out of their video, short clips. So it's good to have that longer form content, but be able to edit it down. And then you can implement changes. If you don't get very good feedback from someone, let's say you have a feedback form and people are saying, I wish you had this product. I wish you were open earlier or later. Those are good things to consider as far as making changes going forward, especially if you have multiple people saying the same thing. Now, content marketing, this is important too. So the type of content you want to create, and you want to be mindful of something like SEO and best practices. Now, this is, again, a little bit more complicated, but getting the right terms in, let's say, a blog article or in a video or your description of your video, very important, because search engines, they all have algorithms, and you want to make sure that when someone's searching for a dental practice or your type of specialty that they're going to be able to find you quickly. So producing content, but content that is SEO optimized, very important. Also for your local area. So most of us in healthcare have practices that are service our community. So you want to make sure that you have good SEM as well. So you want to manage the search for the local area. You don't necessarily need to be getting the message out nationwide, but you want to make sure that that message is getting out to your community. So if there's a way to target that, sometimes that's paid advertising can target that very well. Sometimes it's using the right hashtags or keywords to include in your content for your local area. And then you want to measure your content performance. How are you doing with that? What kind of statistics can you get? What are the statistics telling you? All very important for doing better going forward with your work. You want to just constantly improve your reach and become the #1 clinic in your profession, in your area. Now, sometimes there is a brand crisis. I've seen that recently with a few people that are health professionals in my community. Hopefully it's just something like some negative feedback that you received, and how do you deal with that? It's hard to get negative feedback as a health professional because our brand is often our service, who we are, and the way we do our service. So, but we're not perfect. So sometimes things happen. We make someone wait. The care doesn't go as expected. Maybe there's a problem with their insurance or something like that, and somebody leaves a review because it wasn't exactly what they expected. So just kind of taking a look at that experience and trying to improve your clinic can be very valuable. But also, how do you respond to messages like that, especially if they're out there on social media? Now, it's easy to leave a bad review for someone on social media, so you might have to respond to these. And a lot of doctors do have poor ratings because of the way they manage their practice or the patient care. So some doctors don't care much about it, but others do. I think it's important, and I think that we definitely want to take that feedback and improve our service. Hopefully it's not a major crisis. Hopefully it's not something where you're getting sued by a patient, or there's some kind of disciplinary action against you. People do go through that, but hopefully it's just something minor that can be managed. And again, if you might need some help, your staff to help you, or a reputation management company that can help you with your brand image. And then you want to evaluate your post-crisis, do a post-crisis evaluation. So basically, you want to sit down and say, how do we handle that? How can we improve going forward? Try to minimize those negative experiences. So I have a few case studies here. Dr. Sarah is a physical therapist based in Toronto with over 15 years of experience. Despite her experience and dedication to patient care, she struggled to attract new patients and maintain a strong online presence. Her challenges: she was limited online by the visibility, so she didn't have great visibility. She also was inconsistent with her patient engagement. So when you do post, I would recommend you post on a daily basis. Social media requires multiple posts a day, actually. 2 or 3 posts a day. You don't want to post the same content, try not to, but you want to mix up your content. And then at the end of the week, I think reposting some of your best content is a good idea, a good way to get started, filling up your calendar, and then posting some new posts based on what's going on in the clinic, very important as well. So she had an inconsistent patient engagement, negative online reviews affecting her reputation. So the strategies that we implemented were actively monitoring her online presence across various review platforms like Google, Yelp in her region, and Health Grades. She implemented a systemic approach to respond promptly both to positive and negative reviews, addressing concerns and thanking patients for their feedback. So that's very important. You know, if somebody's going to go through the effort to leave you a review, it's good to thank them for it. And I like to personalize the message a bit. You know, something that is unique about them, nothing too personal, but something is just saying, you know, thanks so much, Sally, for leaving that review. I'm glad you feel better. Or, you know, just something that she's like, oh yeah, he read my review and he addressed my what I wrote. Makes that patient feel great because you took the time to do that, but also others can see how you respond to your patients. So that's very important. The other thing, effective communication, we redesigned her website to be more user-friendly and informative, making it easier for potential patients to find information and to book appointments. So, you know, just booking online, very important, and just a very simple, easy way to navigate the website. I'm into the minimalist type of look, so I like that clean, simple look to the website and even my clinic. Started a blog where she shared health tips, patient success stories, and educational content. Utilized social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram to engage with their audience, posting regular updates and responding to comments and messages. Leveraging patient feedback. So we created simple feedback forms for patients to share their experience and suggestions, analyzed the feedback to identify areas for improvement, and implemented changes based on patient suggestions. And we communicated these changes to her patients, fostering a sense of trust and loyalty. People do like to know that you listened to their concerns and you made some changes. You know, it just didn't kind of go in one ear and through to the other. The results, we increased her online visibility, higher search engine rankings, and more positive reviews. We improved the patient experience and the patient engagement, more interaction on social media and increased website traffic, improved patient satisfaction, higher patient retention, and more referrals from satisfied patients. So perfect. Now the case example I have number 2 for Dr. Michael. He's a chiropractor with 20 years of experience, and despite having a well-established practice, he realized that his online presence and patient engagement needed to improve to stay competitive. He had an outdated website and limited online presence, inconsistent communication with patients, hit or miss, difficulty in collecting and utilizing patient feedback. So some of the strategies we implemented were, we started actively monitoring his online reviews and responding to them promptly, encouraged his patients to leave reviews by providing easy to access links and reminders, implemented a feedback loop to address negative reviews and improve patient experience. For effective communication, we updated his website to be more modern, mobile friendly, and SEO optimized, started a YouTube channel where he could share videos on chiropractic care, exercises, and patient testimonials, and used email newsletters to keep his patients informed about his new services, health tips, and clinic updates. Then he leveraged patient feedback, introduced digital feedback forms and surveys to gather patient opinions and suggestions, analyzed the feedback to make informed decisions on service improvements and new offerings, and regularly updated patients on changes made based on their feedback, showing that their opinions were valued. The results were improved online reputation, increased number of positive reviews, and higher visibility in search results, better patient communication, more engaged patients through multiple channels like YouTube, social media, and email, higher patient satisfaction, positive feedback from patients about the improvements and personalized care, leading to more referrals and repeat visits. So these are some examples on how True North can help healthcare clinics, doctors, therapists with their practice. Now, if you have any questions, please type them in the comments. You can always DM me later if you don't want to type your question here. Also in the chat, you can type your question here on YouTube because we're streaming live on YouTube as well as on Instagram. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I'd be happy to answer those for you. If you think of it later, you're watching the replay of this, feel free to type them in the chat or DM, because I'll still have a chance to check on the video later today and tomorrow. Like I said, it's good to check a couple times a day to see what the feedback's like on your posts. And then I wanted to let you know about our masterclass, and I'm going to show you where you can sign up for that. Now, there's a few points today that we discussed where we would have to dig deeper into the concept. So like the Linktree, and how to use Linktree, or what type of posts, or what are good messaging, what's some good messaging to use. So we can dig deeper into that at the masterclass, and you can participate by typing in the chat. We can bring you on with video on Zoom, so very easy to have you participate and in the masterclass. So it's more of an involved or immersive experience for the viewer in the masterclass. There's a fee for the masterclass, unlike this webinar, which was free. So there is a fee for it, and it includes a follow-up one-on-one coaching session with me. So you get a chance to ask me specific questions. Usually those coaching sessions have a fee, but that's included if you attend the masterclass, and that one-on-one session is usually about 15 to 30 minutes. So you'll have a great experience at the masterclass, and then you'll have that one-on-one coaching experience after. If you have any questions, again, type them in the chat here, or you can type them in the comments on Instagram. I want to really thank you guys for joining me today. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you where to sign up for the webinar, the masterclass. So one sec. I'm just going to switch screens here. Yeah, here we go. On YouTube, let me just get this so that it's the right size. One sec, guys. It's sometimes hard to switch screens. Here we go. So this is what it looks like if you go to our Eventbrite page and you want to sign up for our masterclass. It looks similar to this webinar, which is the free webinar, but it's going to be much more involved. So here's how you can sign up for the masterclass right here. It's tomorrow. Tickets are on sale today, but they will ticket sales will end tonight at 10 p.m. So you still have time, and then that masterclass is going to be tomorrow from 12:30 to 1. So please feel free to join me. There is a fee for that masterclass, but again, it includes more participation, more detailed questions that we can answer, and the one-on-one coaching session. So that's a great opportunity for you to dig deeper into this concept, which is very important for your practice. So thanks again for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here for this live webinar. If you want to see our future events, you can go to our True North PM site on Eventbrite. You can follow us by clicking that button right there. And then if you click on our page, you're going to see the upcoming events. Here's some of them that are listed right here, like the Innovative Patient Experience Design Beyond the Clinic on June 19th. We will have one on weight loss coming up on July 4th, Strategies for Sustainable Health. And then on July 8th, Optimizing Patient Flow with Smart Clinic Operations. Just a few examples of some of the webinars we have coming up here at True North. Again, I'm Dr. Cary Yurkiw. Thank you for joining me for this webinar today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And